A lot of people say that you'll be free when, a child turns 18, like, 18 years. But do we know that parenting doesn't end when a child turns 18? It just, it continues until one of you dies. Don't get me wrong, like, there's obviously a lot more freedom when, your child is 18 or has moved out the house. You're able to probably sleep a lot better. You're able to do a lot more things. You've got a lot more freedom to just do life rather than when your child was a baby or relied on you a lot more than when they become like older or younger adults, right? But that responsibility of you being a parent doesn't end just because your child is out the house or they've moved out the house. If there's an emergency, if there's a medical emergency, if there's, if there's a health condition, for example, your child is in hospital in their 40s, you are still their parent, providing like obviously that relationship is somewhat decent and, they haven't gone no contact with you. You haven't got no contact with them. You're still their parent and they're still your child. So in that hospital room, you're still the parent, right? They might have got married, they might have done all of this, they might have started other families, but you are still their mum or their dad. I know a lot of people who unfortunately like don't have their parents with them. They're older. They wish they still had their mum to call for advice. They still wish they had their dad to call for advice. Just because they are now, married with kids and they're living life independently, you still need your parents. And child-free people, some child-free people, I can't speak for everyone, but I know that one of the many, many, many reasons why I don't want to have children is because it's a literal, in the nicest way possible, it's a life sentence. Like, there is no parole, there's no, like, you are in it until you're done. And while I will forever appreciate my parents, like when I was 26, I moved back home, sorry. When I was 28, I was diagnosed with a chronic condition. And I lived with my parents for 2 years until I was able to move out, sorry. At the time, I was a big woman, 26, I was living alone, I was working in a big city, I was doing all these things, but I just had to move back home for, life circumstances. But then 2 years later, I physically could not move. I had to be at home. So had my parents been checked out at 18, like, we're no longer your parents, we're done, whatever, I would have been screwed. So a lot of the time, like, child-free people choose not to have children because we know it's a lifelong thing. It's a life sentence. I don't say it's a prison because, I don't want people to feel like they're in prison, but it's a life commitment that is just, I appreciate my parents for doing it. It's just one that I don't want to do myself, and I think a lot of child-free people don't want to do. And even a lot of parents, had they had the choice, would have probably thought